Oh. Good afternoon.
Well, hello.
I'm Jill.
I'm Ray.
Shall we go cruising?
Let's do it.
Let's go cruising.
Let's do it. Every time.
Oh man, feel a little loopy today.
Just a little. It's like a good weird day.
It is a good weird day.
I got thrown off on my day. I know that.
Oh man, at least you got a nap.
30 minutes.
But it's been a gloomy, wonderful day. A good fall first day.
Yeah, it is a very good. Is today the first day of fall?
I have no idea.
I think it is actually.
Then what a way to kick it off, because it's lovely today.
Yeah, lovely.
It's just, I don't know, it's just a nice day today. It was rainy, but I love the rain. So.
Yep, it was raining this morning, and then now there's like a little bit of sunshine and blue sky on certain parts. Like literally half the sky is gray and the other half
is like blue.
Exactly.
Well, I feel like this is a good day for us to talk about our favorite thing.
Which one? We have many a favorite thing.
Well, we do, but one of the many things we love is art.
Indeed.
Oh, I love art. Well, and as you know, last episode I was in Vegas, so you heard me on the phone.
Yeah, now she's loud and clear now.
Oh, loud and clear and mucusy, so I apologize.
Yeah, poor thing got hit with allergies as soon as she crossed.
It's more like round with the truck over with flowers, and I was just like, I can't breathe. Kyle's making fun of like how I talk and stuff.
Poor thing.
I have a cough, but I'm not sick. I'm not COVID-19 like that one.
No, I don't have it either. No, it's a nickname.
COVID.
It's okay, Holio.
But yeah, art. We love art. And so where I was going with that is I came from, we were in Vegas for a week. Me and Kyle, we had a vacation. We had Coco with us. But I really wanted to go to an art museum out there. And there is a couple like mini art museums on the Strip.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you guys got a chance to go.
In a way, we did. We went
Okay.
to, and there's some at Caesar's Palace. So there's like just little mini art galleries and stuff. And
I know what you're talking about.
We were going
Okay.
through those and whatnot, and they have like really cool stuff. Some of them is like photography, which like you should look into.
Oh, we've looked at some of those.
Some of them, yeah.
I think I went with Roland actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of got inspired to pick one of those, and one artist. Well, there was several artists that I had to like jot down that I'm like, oh my god, I gotta look them up later. But there was a lot of abstract. There was an abstract art gallery. It was really cool. It had like Picasso's and like so many other ones, and they were just all abstract art.
Nice.
So I was like, I love abstract. I've always been like kind of a sucker for abstract. As weird as it is, but I like it.
That's why.
That's what makes it so cool. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and a particular artist that I saw at the museums that piqued my interest. So,
all right.
I'm going to talk about some abstract here. But I'm going to get into a little bit about abstract. It's like the history of abstract. So, do you know anything about abstract? Like, what do you know about abstract?
Just that it's weird, a lot of shapes, a lot of different colors, and that it's very stimulating. Mm-hmm. That's literally the way I can describe abstract. I'm sure there's other numerous ways, but I've always liked abstract for that reason. It was always the type of background on my computer screens or like my mobile screens.
And it's something that you do, like I kind of remember doing like abstract projects in like art for school and stuff, you know, like in elementary school and shit. When we had art classes, like I remember learning about it in that aspect.
Yep.
But like I don't really know about the history, I guess, per se about abstract. So that's what I looked up.
Perfect.
The history of abstract. Roll down some windows, get some fresh, morbid air in.
Really, though, fresh air's for the dead.
Like they say, fresh air's for dead people.
Exactly.
Hashtag morbid.
Ha.
So abstract art, it was born in the beginning of the 20th century in Eastern Europe. And this was a time for like the artistic landscape that was like, it was made up of like Fauvism, Cubism, and figurative expression. So that's kind of where it started developing. So during that time, it was all about like trying to think outside of the box, like the early 20th century. There was a lot of like new inventions, machines, like everything was industrial.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of opened up the minds, and that's how abstract kind of started becoming seen in art.
I like industrial.
So this type of art is marked by its freedom of color, shapes, and of course its subject. So if you want to you give it a definition, that's abstract. So they would experiment with like bold colors, mixing colors into like new bright colors, and just different styles that you put into it yourself. Like there's no true guideline to do abstract. It's kind of like you follow the bold colors, the shapes, like you said, you throw your own twist into it, and that's it.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Different artists vary in style, like simultaneously using their personal touch, just like I said.
Yeah, you have to.
If a date had to be given for when abstract was a thing
introduced,
some would say about 1910.
Okay.
Is when it started kind of appearing. So around that time era. The first abstract watercolor was by a Russian painter. His name was Vasily Kandinsky. And he was the first painter who used non-formal composition.
Risque.
Yeah, so, like, something you never seen. Because, like, you would think art before that was very...
realistic, I guess?
Yeah, like, if you want to think, like, Renaissance paintings.
Exactly.
It's very neutral colors and more realistic and
realism,
stuff like
I
yeah
guess.
Realism, like you think of that. Abstract was
not
the
that.
opposite.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
More of a symbolism to it.
Yeah. So this is how abstract art came to be defined. So it said on this website, as art which does not represent reality. This art concentrates on colors and shapes that are free form from the usual objects or subjects from the outside world. So you kind of take in like reality and you make it your own.
Oh, yeah. I've heard it described exactly like that.
Yeah, because it's like you pick a subject and you just create something, your version of it, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So abstract can be roughly split into two ideas. So on one hand, it's a quest for rationality and an independent order from the external reality. And then on the other hand, it is the development of symbolic function of color, rhythm of forms, and their independence from the subject. So it's kind of like a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Contradicting?
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So abstract is a rich movement that quickly divided into subcategories. So there's no one way of doing abstract.
Well, no, there can't be.
No, it's just there's an infinite
there's
subcategories.
No point. Yeah.
Like it's abstract, but everyone has their own personal twist into it.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Kandinsky, like I mentioned before, he was the first one to create the first watercolor abstract painting. He was a representation of lyrical abstraction, and this is the power of emotion that implicated anger of the human being, he wanted to trigger that emotion, I guess.
Okay.
So that's what lyrical abstract is. Another representation is Maltevich. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But he represented suprematism, and it's a movement seeking pure pictorial sensibility where forms and colors speak for themselves.
Okay.
So that I guess I haven't looked at his stuff, but I'm assuming it's like blotches.
Oh, okay. I think I see.
And then this one I'm probably gonna mess up too. Piet Mondrian represented the geometric abstract. So this one was a lot of squares and primary colors with big, bold black lines.
I think I've seen those.
You know, the shape ones.
Yeah.
That was Mondrian.
Nice.
Those were only a few of, like, the subcategories that during this time they were the first of.
Cool.
Those were just a few examples. But by the 40s and 50s, the new abstract movement made its way to America. So in the aftermath of World War II, the new style invaded the artistic landscapes. So figures such as Jackson Pollock and Willem de Kooning made their marks and are still the most sought after, like, paintings in the market today.
Wow.
Like Pollock, he represented the action of painting this style that had vigorous movements, like flicking of the paint or splattering and splashing, or spotting, if you want to call it. So he was the first to do all of that. Like,
nice.
To throw the
That's
paint.
so fun. I love doing that.
Like in Family Guy when Stewie was painting Rupert.
Yeah.
And he's like, or no, Rupert was painting Stewie.
Yes.
And he was like, flicking the... It was Pollock.
Oh my god.
And then from the 1960s onward, two main trends emerged, and one is optical art and minimalism. So those ones are kind of the newer forms of abstract.
I see.
Victor Vasarely was the father of op art. So optical art played with the effects of color, shapes, and light, and ultimately creating visual illusions for the spectator. So those ones I feel like were more of the like optical illusions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then two other ones is Sol LeWitt and Robert Morris and Dan Flavin. They were the minimal artists. And their motto was economizing resources to a simple structure which is often geometric but always abstract.
Okay.
So there's just so many different types. I don't know. I don't know if you're even picturing some of them. Like,
all of them.
Like they're... I don't know. Abstract is just crazy. I like it. Some people don't like it.
Yeah, I can see why, but I love
like
abstract.
It's just watching. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like it.
I see the artist.
But some say that I thought this was interesting. Some say the true pioneer of abstract was actually a woman, and her name was Hilma af Klint, and she was a Swedish painter in 1906. So that was a couple years before they think the birth of abstract happened. And she had the sense of abstract art in her paintings 4 years before Kandinsky even painted his watercolor one.
Whoa.
So, and hers was like, I saw a painting. It was like swirls, and it had like flowers, and they were all different colors. Like, it was pretty. Like, it was just, she was just doodling.
Yeah.
And she colored it all in. So she could have been the first abstract artist, but no one really knows if she was or anything. Probably because of that time, you know, women were suppressed. So they didn't get credit for a lot of things. But yeah, they were wondering if the first male artists had an influence on her art, but who's to say? So, considering all of that, the artist that I found and I kind of was intrigued with in the art museum was in the abstract gallery, and his was abstract sculptures. And his name is Nano Lopez. Have you ever heard of him?
I'm not sure.
So his stuff is really cool. Like I said, they're little sculptures, and there was a couple that I saw, and they were of like little animals.
Aww.
And they have like it's almost like, you know how like quilts, like on a blanket, how they have like squares and they're all different patches of different things.
Yeah.
It was that on the sculpture.
Heck
in a way.
yeah.
And it'll have like signs and numbers and letters all over it, scattered all over it, and they would have like things sticking out of it, like gears or buttons and stuff. Like,
I feel like I've seen
meshed a whole bunch of things, but
before.
it's a giraffe, or it's a,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the art that he has.
So
I'll get
awesome.
more into it. So his name is Nano Lopez. Bernardo Lopez. And he was born in 1955 in Bogota, Colombia. So Nano Lopez he was described as a gifted artist who can see the world as a child sees it. So he explores with like wonder and creativity, and he is fascinated with troubling mysteries of life. So he kind of incorporates that all into his sculptures.
Okay.
He's still alive, by the way. He was born in 1955, so he's still around making his art and stuff. I was watching videos of interviews of him.
Wonderful.
It was cool to see him like talk about his own art. It was kind of nice.
How could you not, though, you know?
I'll share the links and stuff of where I watched the videos, because it was very interesting, and you can see him.
I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, it was really cool. I'll put it in the notes and stuff, the show notes. At 23 years old, Nano began working as an apprentice in a monumental scale, carving marble, granite, and fabricating steel. So at a young age, he was like doing all of that.
Wow.
And in 1983, he moved to the Pacific Northwest in the U.S. And in the next 4 years, he was employed by various bronze foundries and featured his abilities in welding, tooling, and his painting evolved into his art, what it is today. So he learned all of that welding and stuff like that. So that's how he makes his sculptures.
Okay. That's how he got his skill.
Yeah. And he always integrates organic textures or synthetics in his so he uses like live things. Like he'll put, like I said, gears, grass, flowers, buttons, whatever, fabric. He'll put it in the piece.
Yeah.
Just very, I don't know how to describe it, because I couldn't stop staring at those pieces when I was in the art
You're just so
gallery.
infatuated.
I was very infatuated. It was so stimulating to look at. There was so much on the object that it was just like,
I can imagine.
It's really cool. And his art is very colorful and whimsical.
Sounds like it.
I love that word, whimsical. So it has intricate textures, bright colors, and it advocates to his native Colombian Latin art roots, you know. So it was very bright colors like that. Like, you know how like Latino art is just very colorful? It's like that.
Ooh, love it.
And all of his sculptures are like, most of them are animals, because he loves animals, and he says he tries to tell his experiences of the world through his sculptures.
This guy sounds like so much fun. I would love to have him at a party or something to just talk to him.
He was so cute. He's just a little old man with like a big old bushy beard with a thick old Colombian accent.
I still talk to him.
It was just like, watching those videos were really cool. That was just really cool. You guys should watch the videos. But he said, quote, "Not a moment of time, but it's a chunk of time." And that's what he tries to put in his sculptures.
Chunk of time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he liked the busy cities, and he liked like the aesthetic of that, so he puts it in his sculptures, because the sculptures look really busy. Like I said, there's a lot of things going on. And like I said, you can see numbers and letters scattered on them. And sometimes he'll even write the names of the piece in the sculpture. Yeah. And he says,
it's so cool.
The sculptures have numbers and letters on them because it relates to day-to-day life. You know, literature and mathematics. We see it everywhere.
He's right.
So he puts it in there. And animals...
Something so simple into art.
Yeah. And it has such significant meaning, even though it's like you see it every day. But it's an important part of your day. You see letters and numbers.
You have to use it.
Everywhere, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he puts it in the sculpture. And he says that animals are beautiful themselves, so he just tries to bring out the qualities of the animal into the sculpture. Like, they're really cute. Like, for example, one of his sculptures is called Sherlock. And this little figurine is, it's a Schnauzer dog.
Aww.
And it has the Sherlock Holmes hat and he has the pipe out of his mouth, and he has like a little vest, and then all over him he has like numbers and like other stuff that
I feel like I've seen that before.
And they're colorful. And he said the image he had for Sherlock, because Sherlock Holmes, he pictures a mustached dog.
Oh.
And he dressed him in the hat, the pipe, like I said, in the little vest. And he says he picked a dog because dogs, quote, dogs love to smell, so they like to investigate, and that they're good at it.
Yeah, he's right.
Like Sherlock Holmes. So he incorporated. It's such a cute one. Another one is called Davian, and he said this piece is captivating to myself since the beginning. He was so much fun to do. And this piece is a dragon, and he's eating an ice cream.
Oh.
And he's like
As
standing,
you should.
and he's standing over a treasure chest. And it's kind of broken. And again, he's like covered in like numbers and like gears and stuff like that. And the ice cream, and his little tongue's at the ice cream, and it's like a little swirl.
He's eating his ice cream, having a ball.
He's eating his ice cream. And he says, dragons are a richness to the world, abundance, amazing miracles of richness. So that's what he was trying to incorporate into the dragon, because, you know, that's what dragons are.
Yeah,
they're
great.
mystical, they're rich, and they save their plunder. He's like, and how ironic it would be to have them eating an ice cream, because you think of dragon fire, you know, and he's just eating an ice cream.
He just wants his soft serve like anybody else.
But he even makes like coins with like the faces of some of his sculptures. Like the Sherlock Holmes dog is on a coin, and you can buy his stuff, and it's like a little coin. It's really cool. Like all of his stuff that he welds is like amazing. So his collection, he does a series of like small, medium, large sculptures. He can do life-size sculptures, and he does figurines, like figurative sculptures. And then he makes like rare ones, so like one of a kind. He'll only make like one of it, you know. So he has a lot.
Sounds like it.
And so in another video that I was watching of him, he was talking about like where he got started. I mean, besides his younger years, but he's talking about his boyhood. And he said he loved watching nature with his dad, because his dad in Colombia, you know, they would always be traveling. So he was saying that we would go like down the river and like into the forest and stuff. So he was like already an animal lover.
Like every other little nursery rhyme.
And his grandmother was a sculptor as well. So that's where he kind of learned how to sculpt. He would do art with his grandma, and they would make sculptures together. So that's kind of how he fell in love with it.
That's precious.
And then he said that when he was young, he used to steal clay from the construction sites, and he would just make stuff out of them, and he would use...
That's true passion.
He would use his
there.
surroundings, so he would use grass or like a leaf and put it in the sculpture, etc. And he said he really had a fascination with gears. So like
that's where he got it
gears from a clock and stuff. So he would find it, you know, like playing around.
Especially at a construction site.
Yeah, so he would put it all into the sculpture. And like a lot of so a couple examples of his like gears and his artwork. One is called Man Balance, and this man is posed with his arms out, and he's like kind of slanted, so he's off balance, and he's balancing like a beam, and it has gears and buttons, and then on the other side, on the lower side, it has like two cups or vases, I guess. And he's like tilting it like this. The gears and stuff he just had a fascination with, and he was like, what did he say? He said, I was attracted to gears, and that represents human gravitivity and machinery. All man-made machines, you know, again, it's in our everyday. So he was incorporating it in his art. It's really cool. And then another one that has a whole bunch of gears is called Autumn Man. And so it's a sculpture of a man. He's crouching, and his like knees to chest. So he's like in a fetal position, and there's gears all over him. Like he's made of gears. Okay. And there's like it looks like gears from like a clock, you know, like that. And there was a couple buttons, and then there's fish swimming in front of him.
Whoa.
Like going up. It's really cool. And again, like how I'm describing it doesn't do no justice. Like you guys gotta look this shit up, because it's just really wild to see.
Do.
I'm trying to describe it as much as I can.
You're doing a good job.
It's like, when you see it, you're like, whoa, whoa.
I'm just
There's
sitting
just
here
so much
picturing
to
it.
look
I'm already
at.
mesmerized.
Yeah.
Like,
So, there was another site, and it was talking about his animal ones, and they're called nanimals.
nanimals. Aww.
Nanimals.
That's adorable.
And, quote, he said, the animals, for example, are trying to find power in that piece. So, it's not just a giraffe, or it's not just a cat sitting. I add elements to the piece to give it personality.
So fascinating.
And he says, I think they are full of stuff because that's just how life is.
Yeah.
Full of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
I mean, I kind of looked at it too as like a sentimental thing. People always have sentimental attachments to inanimate objects.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, incorporating them into it is like part of you.
Wow.
And he just puts it in the sculpture, you know?
This guy's got me mind blown, man.
Yeah, his stuff was lit. And he says he tries to put a sense of history to grow and have accidents, quote unquote, because then that's how life is. You know, beautiful things happen because of accidents.
Happy accidents.
Mm-hmm. So a couple examples of his sculptures is the one I saw in the gallery it's called Olivia, and it's the giraffe, like I was kind of describing, and she's laying, you know, with her feet tucked in, and it's her face, and she has a little tag thing that says Olivia on her shoulder.
Aww.
And there's like numbers, like a big 2, and there's like, you know, flowers and stuff, like just all over her, and she's very colorful. There's in patches of colors all over.
Ooh, beautiful.
That one was really cool. Another example is Torito, and this is a bull, and he's like made of gears, and he's like in the fighting stance, you know, with his head down,
he's getting ready,
his tail up, and he's just made of gears.
He's
all
ready
over.
to go.
Like his looks really badass with the horns and everything. Another dragon one it's a different one from the one I described. This one's called Kiko, and it's another dragon, and he's like kind of coming down like from something, and he's reaching for his ice cream.
Oh, he just wants his ice cream.
It's really cute. Another one is called Emma Mia, and this one's a little hippo, and kind of the same thing, like a giraffe. It's like smiling, and it's all cute. Like, these things are so freaking cute. And it has patches, again, numbers, letters all over it, and you can see the name Emma
I want
Mia.
one, but it's expensive.
Oh, yeah. Another dragon is called Katrina, and she's laying down, and she has a little bird friend on her tail.
Oh.
And it's really cute. Again, she's all full of patches of like gears and flowers and all that.
Little bird friend.
One I really liked that I'm like, oh man, I wish I saw it in person, was Lobito y Luna. And this one was a mama wolf, and it's howling, and it has a little baby wolf in between her legs right here, and it's howling too, and it has all of the stuff. It looks really cool. But yeah, that is the artist, the abstract sculpture, the master sculptor, Nano Lopez.
Oh my god, he sounds so awesome.
So
what
again,
a badass.
I'll tag all of the stuff, like the links and stuff in the videos where I saw, so you can watch them. They're very fascinating. I'll post some pictures and tag him. And again, you can see his stuff in Las Vegas. So if you're in Las Vegas or you happen to be, go into Caesar's Palace, and you'll find there's, like I said, there's just hundreds of like little pockets of stores that are art galleries, and he's in one of them in the Caesar's Palace. And
keep an
his
eye
stuff is
out.
really cool. His stuff is really cool. Like I said, I have like a whole list of people that I was like, I gotta look that guy up, gotta look that guy up.
Man.
Holy crap, I like this one.
I should have wrote some down, because I remember looking at a whole bunch and just being like the photography ones especially.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
which
wow.
I found another one that you should write down. I'm pretty sure I jotted it down in my notes, but we saw his art gallery of his photos. Holy crap. Girl.
Ooh, girl. Gotta get me a good camera first.
Yeah. But yeah. That was really cool.
That was
fun.
awesome.
I love abstract.
Nano Lopez.
If you guys have any abstract art, you should email us some and show us.
Yeah, please.
Or if you have anything interesting about abstract or an abstract artist that you would like to hear about, let us know, because I love it. It's fascinating to me. I would love looking up anything else. And where you can do that is let's go cruising.
Ah.
Let's go cruising podcast at gmail.com. And feel free to email us. Again, if you have any suggestions or any art that you want to show us, go ahead, show us. You can follow us too on Instagram. And if you're okay with it, you should let us know if we can post some of your stuff on Instagram.
Yeah,
Build like a little community of artists in there. Follow, like, support fellow artists through that way. And you can follow us at Let's Go Cruising Podcast on Instagram. And you can watch us on YouTube at Let's Go Cruising with Jel and Ray. Remember that, Jel
and Ray.
And Ray. Well, thanks for cruising with us. That was fun.
Thanks, guys.
I sound like I'm sick. I'm really not sick.
No, it's just allergy season, man.
I feel like I sound like crap.
My voice is deeper than it usually is. So.
Yeah, oh well. Well, let's go cruising next time, yeah?
All right.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Adios.